Hello everybody, this is Alan with HeadphoneReviewHQ.com, and today we're reviewing the Fiio E9 desktop headphone amplifier. And here you can see the box it comes in. It looks pretty nice, not anything special, just a good looking box. You open it up and they have the bare essentials. It's packaged well, fairly sparse but well. Here's your instruction manual with the warranty information on the back. And in this white box, you pull it out, you've got your power strip and a USB cable, and the power cord that they pack with this thing is insanely large. There it is. And then you've got your USB. The big one goes in the E9 and your regular goes into your computer. They also give you an extra set of bumper pads for your E9. So now here's the star of the show, the actual E9 itself. And as with most Fiio products that I've received, the fit and finish on this thing is just beautiful. I mean, as you can see, it's all in brushed metal. It's just, I mean, they do a good job on putting these things together. The motion of the volume is smooth. So here on the back you've got your line in, which is your auxiliary input from an iPod or MP3 player. Then you have your pre-output, and this is a 3.5mm jack out to a set of speakers or a receiver. Then that's an RCA fixed 2-volt output. You have a gain off and on, the USB in, and then your power over on the right. So again, just a nice look. I don't know if you can see on you have a 3.5mm connection on the left, and then you have your 1/8 inch phono input on the right. And then I don't know if you can see on that dial, but they even have a circular brushed finish on that too. It's just a nice touch. It's a pretty device, and it just operates smoothly. And on the top they have their proprietary dot connector for the E7 and the E17. So that's a quick overview of what the unit looks like, and let's jump on in. Oh, and on the bottom here you have the bumpers. Alright, so here on the back we're going to go ahead and plug in the power, and then over here we're going to plug in the USB cable, and we're going to get rolling. So here we're going to get started with hooking it up to my iPhone. There's my L1, which I use in pretty much all my reviews. Plug that into the bottom of my iPhone, and then you plug the other end of this, the 3.5mm, into the auxiliary input, the line in on the back of it, the very first hole there. Plug that in, and now we'll get rocking. Alright, so the next thing we're going to do is I'm just going to show you, I've got a phono 8-inch adapter on my Grottos here, just to show you. Plug it in over here on the right, and this thing will amp 2 headphones at the same time. I didn't have any need to do it, but you can plug in both. Now right here is a good listening level. That's actually pretty loud, about 1/3 of the way up. I turned it up here just to give it a test. I mean, going much past half and it'll really rock your head. This thing has some power. I mean, that right there is insanely loud. So normal listening levels is not there. It's probably right at about 1/3. That's probably about the max of what an iPod would output. So that's where I listen at most times. Okay, so now I'm going to take and I'm going to hook up the back of the E9. I'm going to plug into the pre-out because we're going to hook these up to my M audios. Plug this into the back of the pre-output. Then over here I take the other end of the cable and I'm going to plug it to the auxiliary in on the front of my M audios. Alright, so now notice I have no headphones in the front 2 jacks. The output on the pre will not work if you have any headphones plugged in. So here I'm demonstrating that the volume will control the actual volume of the speakers. These both work with each other. So turning up the amplifier and turning up the speakers will both cause this thing to go even louder. So here now what I'm going to do is I'm going to hook up the RCAs. Now this is a fixed output. So I plug in my left and my right, and I took out the pre-output, And now I'm going to hook that into the M audio, into the auxiliary in. Now with this setup, the volume on the speaker controls the output. The volume on the amplifier does not affect the output on the speaker at all. So this is the biggest difference between that and the pre-output. Now we're going to hook up using the USB from the computer, and I'm going to show you this thing in effect with the E17, which I just reviewed previously. So here we're going to take the E17, I've got it set on USB, and I'm going to put it in the dock connector on the top, and I push it down until you see the word lock. And that means that it's locked onto the signal from the computer. So now you'll see that I'm turning that up and down. That has no effect on the sound. It's only the actual volume control on the speakers right now that affect the sound. Well, as I was playing with this, I found out that the actual volume on the E17 also affects the output. So you can turn this up using the E17 in conjunction with the volume on your speakers, and believe me, this will go loud. It was surprising how loud it would go, but the volume control on the actual E9 itself does nothing. And here I'm demonstrating that you can actually modify the treble, the bass, the gain, and all that, and this will affect the sound that comes out of your speakers. So this is truly acting as your equalizer and your DAC from your computer. So that's fairly nice. I mean, it gives you a little extra control. So here, there's your power on light, which is always on if it's plugged in. And just going over the unit a little bit more, again, just a great finish on it. So a quick review of this thing. As far as the E9 is concerned, it's a quality product. It outputs sound. I mean, I had this thing on the lowest gain level, and honestly, I don't have a set of headphones that would ever require me to go to the higher gain. I'm sure there's some that exist, but I don't have any. This thing has some power. Going up to halfway on the grottos was beyond loud. I can't even imagine if I flipped that gain switch up what it would do. I didn't ever try it. So again, going around the unit, as you can see, it really is a pretty device. So the fit and finish is good. The dock connector on the top, I wish that when you were pushing on the device, pushing the E17 in place, that it had like a little click or something. You can't really feel when it's in place. You kind of have to look at the screen to see if it got a lock. Another note about this is the power cord. The power plug on this thing is insanely fat. Like, I actually have a surge protector with a wide area for plugging in fat connectors, and this thing almost didn't fit. That's a thing that I really am not crazy about with this. As a headphone amplifier, if you are a person that finds yourself sitting there listening to music quite a bit at your desk, or if you're a video gamer and you want to hook up something, you know, that you can push a little bit of extra juice through your headphones, this is a solid product. And in conjunction with the E17, it makes for it's a killer combo. The sound that comes through it is great. It's crystal clear, it's pristine. It didn't seem to color the music at all. I mean, I didn't notice any difference between it and coming out of my iPhone directly, or even out of my computer to my speakers. And I've got a high quality sound card in my computer, so this thing did a solid job. So pros of the unit: the build quality is outstanding. It looks great. It feels nice, and the input and output options on the back of the device are fairly comprehensive. Maybe it could have an SPDIF in or something like that, but other than that, they've done a good job including the options that most people are going to use. The cons are the power cable is just insanely too big. The part that actually plugs into your outlet is just huge. I wish they were using more standard USB cables, like the mini USB to regular USB. That's a minor complaint. And then the other thing would be the power switch. I just wish it had a power switch, because right now, if you plug it in, it's on all the time. You can't turn it off without unplugging it. So if it was just based on sound alone, I'd give it probably a 9 out of 10. But when you take in all the options, this is a solid 8. So I would highly recommend this product. Just know that those shortcomings are there, and if you do and you're willing to work around those, you'll be very happy with this unit. If you do plan on purchasing the Fiio E9, please use my affiliate link below, as I'll earn a small commission on referring you over. That helps me keep reviews coming. So I hope you've enjoyed this, and I'll be bringing you more in the future. Thanks.